The rain hammered against Manhattan like 1,000 bullets, turning the glittering streets into rivers of reflected neon. Thunder rolled between the skyscrapers as a young woman stepped carefully through the floodwater, her white cane gliding across the pavement in slow, practiced movements. Every sound mattered. Every echo painted a picture. Every breath could mean survival. Emily Carter had learned long ago that blindness didn't make the world silent, it made every sound louder, every smell sharper, every heartbeat more important. Tonight, however, even her extraordinary senses struggled against the chaos of the storm. Her violin case rested against her shoulder, the precious instrument inside worth far more than she could ever afford. It was the only gift her late father had left behind. Lightning flashed. The rain became heavier. Emily's soaked clothes clung to her body as panic slowly crept into her chest. She needed shelter. Immediately. Then she heard it. The soft rhythm of a grand piano. Crystal glasses clinking. The muffled laughter of wealthy guests. A luxury hotel. Guided by the warmth spilling from the entrance and the delicate fragrance of fresh lilies, polished wood, and expensive perfume, Emily pushed open the massive bronze doors. The storm disappeared behind her. Silence. Warmth. Luxury. She took a slow breath, unaware that she had just walked into the headquarters of the most feared criminal empire on the East Coast. At that exact moment, the hotel's private elevator opened. Damian Romano stepped out. 6'4". Tailored black Italian suit. Cold gray eyes. A man whose name made politicians lower their voices and crime bosses rethink their decisions. He wasn't simply rich. He wasn't simply powerful. He owned judges. He owned senators. He owned fear itself. Only minutes earlier, Damian had personally sentenced 3 traitors to death inside the penthouse above. His patience was gone. His temper was worse. Around him, 8 heavily armed bodyguards moved with military precision while his right-hand man, Victor Salazar, walked beside him reviewing intelligence reports. "Our men located the shipment in Brooklyn," Victor said quietly. "Burn everything," Damian replied without slowing. "No survivors." "Understood." Guests instantly stepped aside. Employees lowered their eyes. No one dared breathe when Damian Romano walked through a room. Then fate intervened. Emily's wet shoe slipped across the polished marble. Her balance disappeared. The heavy violin case pulled her forward. She stumbled. And crashed directly into Damian's chest. The violin case slammed against his shoulder. Her white cane flew across the marble floor. The sound echoed through the hotel like a gunshot. Everything froze. Within less than a second, 8 pistols were drawn. The metallic clicks echoed through the silent lobby. Guests screamed. Several people dropped to the floor. Victor stepped forward. "Move away from the boss." Emily couldn't see the weapons. But she heard them. The safeties clicking. The boots shifting. The controlled breathing of men prepared to kill. Fear tightened around her throat. I'm sorry." Her voice trembled. "I slipped." She tried stepping backward but bumped into the same broad chest again. Strong hands gently caught her before she could fall. Damian looked down. His expression hardened. Then, something changed. Completely. His eyes stopped on the small crescent-shaped scar beneath Emily's jaw. A scar he recognized instantly. Impossible. His heartbeat actually skipped. For 15 years. He had searched. For 15 years. He had believed she was dead. Victor noticed Damian hadn't spoken. "Boss?" No response. "Should we eliminate her?" Still nothing. Damian slowly reached out. Instead of pushing Emily away, He carefully brushed a rain-soaked strand of hair away from her face. The entire lobby stared in disbelief. No one, absolutely no one, had ever seen Damian Romano touch another human being with kindness. His bodyguards exchanged confused glances. Victor frowned. Something was terribly wrong. Damian leaned closer. His voice dropped into a whisper so quiet only Emily could hear. I finally found you. Emily's breathing stopped. What? Before anyone could react, Damian turned toward his men. Lower your weapons. Nobody moved. Victor hesitated. Boss, we don't know who she is. Damian's eyes turned ice cold. I wasn't asking. The lobby instantly filled with the sound of guns being holstered. Emily stood frozen. Confused. Terrified. Who are you? She whispered. How do you know me? Damian bent down, picked up her fallen cane himself, and carefully placed it back into her trembling hand. Then he lifted her violin case with surprising gentleness. It's priceless, he said quietly. I wouldn't trust anyone else to carry it. Emily's heart pounded. How could a complete stranger know her violin was an 18th-century Italian masterpiece? She had never told anyone. Not even her closest friends. Before she could ask another question, Damian removed his expensive cashmere coat and wrapped it around her shoulders. His next words sent a chill through everyone standing nearby. You're coming with me. Emily immediately stepped back. No. I don't even know your name. For the first time in years. The feared Mafia king smiled. My name, he said softly, is the reason you're still alive. The smile disappeared from Damian Romano's face as quickly as it had appeared. Outside, thunder shook the city. Inside, an uneasy silence settled over the lobby. Emily tightened her grip on her cane. I said I'm not going anywhere with you. Damian didn't answer immediately. Instead, he looked toward Victor. Call Noah. Victor frowned. The security chief? No. Damian's voice turned cold. The surgeon. Emily's heart skipped. Surgeon. Damian looked directly at her sightless eyes. I promised your father that one day I would return what he lost. Emily felt the ground disappear beneath her. My father died 15 years ago. No. Damian replied quietly. He was murdered. Before Emily could speak, the hotel's massive glass doors exploded inward. Boom! Masked gunmen stormed into the lobby, automatic rifles blazing. Guests screamed. Bodyguards fired back instantly. Marble shattered. Crystal chandeliers rained glass across the floor. Damian grabbed Emily and pulled her behind a marble pillar just as bullets ripped through the space where she had been standing. Victor shouted. Romano cartel. They're here for the girl. Emily's breathing became frantic. For me? Damian nodded once. They finally found you. One of the attackers yelled. Take the blind girl alive. Kill everyone else. Emily froze. How could criminals who had never met her know she was blind? Damian's jaw tightened. They're too late. He drew his pistol. 1 shot. 2 shots. 3. Every bullet found its target. Within seconds, half the attackers were on the ground. The rest retreated toward the entrance. Just then, one wounded gunman laughed. You think you've won? He pulled a small black remote from his pocket. Victor's face turned pale. Boss. It's a bomb. The timer lit up. 0:30. The entire hotel shook as alarms began screaming. Guests rushed toward the exits in panic. Victor yelled. We have to leave. Now. Damien didn't move. His eyes remained fixed on Emily. Then he reached inside his jacket and removed a small silver key attached to a faded leather tag. He placed it gently into her hand. This belonged to your father. Emily's fingers trembled. It's warm. He carried it every day. What does it open? Damien took a slow breath. It doesn't open a door. It opens the truth. Emily frowned. I don't understand. Damien's voice dropped to a whisper. The key isn't important. The lock is. The only person who can find that lock. He gently closed her fingers around it. Is you. Victor looked at the flashing timer. 0:12. Boss. Damien ignored him. For the first time in years. The most feared man in America looked genuinely afraid. Not for himself. For her. He leaned close and spoke the words that changed Emily's life forever. Your father didn't leave you a violin. He hid an empire. Emily's face turned white. What? Damien looked toward the burning lobby. Then back at her. Everything you believed about your life was a lie. The countdown reached. 3, 2, 1. The screen went black. To be continued.